What's going on, guys? If you're anything like me, you've been paying attention to the cryptocurrency news and you're hearing a lot about the SEC, securities, and the Howie test. And you're wondering, what the hell is the Howie test? I had that same question, so I looked into it, and in this video, I'm going to show you what I found. I'll be right back. Alright guys, this is Welcome to Crypto. My name is Mike, and if you've been here before, it's great to have you again. Hit that thumbs up button, and if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button with the little bell next to it for notifications on future videos. Now, today we're briefly going to be discussing what the Howie test is, which is how you decide, or how the SEC decides if something is a security. Okay, and that's kind of what the whole thing is about Ethereum and a lot of other cryptocurrencies right now. So I think it's important for us to take a look at it and understand the basics of it. I did my best to kind of pare it down into, without getting bogged down by the full history of it and all the details with, within the laws, which is probably a waste of time since it's a lot of legalese and it's over 100 years old, or almost 100 years old. So briefly going to be discussing the history. So this is on Wikipedia, and you can see here the highlighted section. After the hearings, Congress passed the Securities Act of 1933 prescribing rules for the interstate sales of securities and made it illegal to sell securities in a state without complying with that state's laws. The statute requires a publicly traded company to register with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. The registration statement provides a broad range of information about the company and is a public record. The SEC does not approve or disapprove the issue of securities, but rather permits the filing statement to become effective if sufficient required detail is provided, including risk factors. The company can then begin selling the stock, usually through investment bankers. So clearly this is applying to stocks and the stock market because this is the easiest and closest thing to compare cryptocurrencies to. It kind of acts like the stock market, but in reality it's just doing its own thing. It's not correlated so far to the stock market. So if we look here at consumer.finelaw.com, there's a couple basic things on here that I thought were helpful to understand what the Howie test is. So under the Howie test, a transaction is an investment contract if, so this is kind of defining what the Howie test is. So this is the meat of it. If it is an investment of money, so if you're buying cryptocurrencies, that's what you're doing. You're investing fiat currency. There is an expectation of profits from that investment. Pretty much everybody is hoping for that, of course, naturally. The investment of money is in a common enterprise, which we're going to look into a little further. And any profit comes from the efforts of a promoter or third party. So basically, whether or not the investment is profitable and you see profit from it has nothing to do with you, but more to do with the company, or all to do with the company that is selling you the security or the common enterprise. So although the Howie test uses the term money, later cases have expanded this to include investments of assets other than money. So it doesn't just apply to money. The term common enterprise isn't precisely defined, and courts have used different interpretations. Most federal courts define a common enterprise as one that is horizontal, meaning that investors pool their money or assets together to invest in a project. However, other courts use different definitions, so it seems to be a little bit vague. So as we're moving into the information age, I think it's going to be very common for us to see documents and laws that were written, a half century, a century or more ago that just don't quite apply to the modern day. And what's going to happen is they're going to have to write new laws. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. Nobody knows for sure, of course, us as the consumers, and, we're the last ones to know about what's going on. But there's a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors. So there's rustling, behind the curtain. There's a lot of moving parts right now, and people are scrambling to get a foothold before cryptocurrencies take off, because it seems to be the general idea of what's going to go on, or the opinion of most people, that it's going to do very well, at least the technology itself. So now we're going to look at Investopia, and this is a cool article that I found that explains how the Howie test is being applied to the crypto market. So the Howie test has remained a notable determiner of regulatory oversight for many decades. In the past few years, it has been called into question, most frequently in conjunction with discussions about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. As investor activity in the cryptocurrency space has grown, the SEC has become increasingly interested in defining cryptocurrencies, specifically ICOs, but that, of course, leads into the rest of cryptocurrencies. Digital currencies like Bitcoin are notoriously difficult to categorize in this way. They are decentralized and designed to evade regulation in many ways. Nonetheless, investors who have moved quickly to buy up the latest digital currency in the hopes of turning a profit are undoubtedly engaging in behavior that could be characterized as speculation. Sounds pretty accurate for what's going on. I mean, there are the people who believe solely in the technology and want to support that, but for the most part, especially in the United States, it's a lot of speculation on a market that could explode, where people make a lot of money. So from the perspective of the Howie test, the operative question in this case is whether or not cryptocurrency investors are participating in a speculative enterprise, and if so, if the profits those investors are hoping for are entirely dependent upon the work of a third party, which is the company that you're buying shares of, essentially, shares, coins of. And I mean, for me, as I read through this, it seems like it just has to be defined as a security. But, Joseph Lubin, one of the founders of Ethereum, was very confident that Ethereum was not going to be defined as a security. I don't understand how that really works. If you guys understand, please explain it in the description below so everybody else can benefit from that knowledge as well. I don't know everything about this. I'm just learning about it too, but I thought that we could all benefit by kind of running through some of this stuff. So if the SEC determines that a particular cryptocurrency token is classified as a security, that brings about a host of implications for the cryptocurrency. Effectively, it means the SEC can determine whether or not the token can be sold to U.S. investors legally or not. It also compels U.S. investors to register their token holdings with the SEC. I suspect that many people will not do that. There are parallels between the cryptocurrency world and the original Howie Co. situation, but there are also many differences. Critically, cryptocurrencies are autonomous and distributed networks that are designed to be decentralized. Classifying a cryptocurrency as a security likely goes sharply against the goals of the creators of that digital currency. That sounds very on point. However, considering how significant the cryptocurrency space has become, the SEC has a growing interest in monitoring and overseeing cryptocurrency transactions in a way that it sees as appropriate. Regardless of the ultimate regulatory decision, it is sure to have a significant impact on the virtual currency world and investors in that space. So we don't quite know yet what's going to happen with this, and this is applying specifically to the SEC. There's also the CFTC and the IRS that are trying to create regulation and laws surrounding cryptocurrencies. So there's a lot of molding and regulatory stuff that's still yet to be seen, which is why cryptocurrencies are so speculative right now. We don't know how governments are going to come in and try to regulate it or fight it, or they like the technology but they don't like the currencies. So that's going to pretty much wrap this up for today. I hope you guys found the information useful. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. And of course, you know, if you have any information to add to this, this is all new to me, as I said before. So I'm just trying to read through it and, you know, absorb the information and share it with you guys so that we can all benefit from it. Please, if you can add anything to this, let me know in the comment section below so that everyone else can benefit. And I will see you guys in the next video. All right. Much love. Peace.